All right, so now we're going to get into carrying capacity symbiosis. We were looking at the levels of organisms and the ecology. Now we're going to look at carrying capacity and symbiosis. So let's look at the anticipation guide. Number 3, in ecology, carrying capacity refers to the largest population an environment can support. True or false? Number 4, predators and prey population are similar in size. True or false? On the left-hand side, please. Flip to the notes. Carrying capacity. So carrying capacity is the largest population an environment can support at any given time. Carrying capacity depends on food, water, living space, and other resources. Looking at a classroom, it's kind of like the fire code. You can only have so many people in the room before it becomes unsafe. So that's like its capacity, max capacity. That's the same thing as when you're looking at an environment like this. There's only so much it can carry before it starts to break down. So another way to look at it is a backpack. Your backpack can only hold so many books and binders and pencils and pens and glue and calculators and whatnot before it starts to break apart. The same goes with carry capacity. All right. So the first part of carry capacity that we're going to kind of look at is competition. And so with these populations, we're like populations of organisms. If you have the same type of organism, which a lot of these are, you're going to have some competition, especially if they live in the same exact area. Like these two right here, I would think there would be a lot of competition between these two because they live on the same part of the tree. And maybe even this one. They would compete against the resources like food, their water, their shelter, who they're going to mate with, how much sunlight they want to be in. So that could cause issues if there are too many of one type. And then you get into predator versus prey. Hoping you know what predator and prey are. If you don't, a predator is an organism that eats all or part of another organism, where a prey is an organism that is killed and eaten by another organism. For instance, we have a coyote or a fox or a wolf and a chicken. All right. So now that we looked at carry capacity, knowing that if we have too many prey, and not enough predators, we're going to run into the competition where there won't be enough food for everybody, and you're going to have there's going to be some starvation going on. And then if you have too many predators, you're going to have not enough prey for the predators to eat, and then the predators are going to start to die off because they've eaten all the prey, and it's going to break the environment they're in. And that leads you to symbiosis. This is a good thing. Symbiosis is a relationship between two different organisms, either living in a close association with each other. So, I'm thinking about this. Like I have, I want to say this is a whale, maybe a whale or a shark that has this fishy thingy right here and the fish around it. It's in symbiosis. They are directly dealing with each other in a relationship, living close in association with each other. All right, so I can break symbiosis into 3 things. The first type, like what we just saw, is mutualism. Mutualism is a symbiotic relationship where both organisms benefit. So mutual, both benefit. Example, we've got right here, we've got a sea turtle with the yellow tang. They protect the yellow tang from other fish and other predators, where the yellow tang will keep like algae and whatnot from growing on the turtle and protecting the turtle in turn. So they both benefit from it. Then you got commensalism. Pardon me if I said that wrong. So commensalism is a symbiotic relationship where one organism benefits and the other is unaffected or unharmed, and it's not bothered by it. So an example we have is clownfish, like in Finding Dory or Saving Nemo. Finding Nemo, not saving, sorry, Finding Nemo. So the clownfish will live in and is protected by the shocks from the sea anemone, and I think those are shrimp. But they'll live in there because they are not necessarily immune to it, but they're used to the shock, so it doesn't bug them. Whereas the shock from the anemone can maybe harm, affect, ward off, make it so that other things don't want to go in or try to attack the clownfish that are in there. All right, the last one, the last of the three, is parasitism. Parasite. So it is a symbiotic relationship, not a good one, where one organism is benefiting. In this case, it would be this tick, but the other is harmed, the deer. So exactly, my example is a deer and a tick. All right, let's go to the quiz. Let's do symbiosis quiz 2. Quiz 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which of the following is an example of symbiosis? A friend helping another friend with homework. A mama cat taking care of her kittens. A mosquito biting you. A friend sharing their lunch with you. So thinking of the three types of symbiosis, which one matches one of the ones that we talked about? It is mosquito biting you, parasitism. All right, which factor would affect carrying capacity? How much an environment can take? Amount of sunlight, number of predators, number of prey, all the above. It's definitely all the above. Sunlight can help with like grass, which can help provide food for the prey. And if you have too many prey, that's going to be an issue. If you have too many predators, that will be its own issue. If you don't have enough sun, that'll be an issue. All of it affects. All right. How is mutualism different from commensalism? In mutualism, both parties benefit, while the commensalism, one benefits and the other is unharmed. In mutualism, one benefits and the other is unharmed, while in commensalism, both are benefited. C, both are examples of symbiosis. D, mutualism, both parties benefit, while in commensalism, one benefits and the other is harmed. So in this one, mutual, they both benefit. Let's see. So that's us with A and D. And commensalism, one benefits and the other is unharmed. It doesn't really, it's unaffected. It doesn't affect them that the other organism is there. All right, number 4. A dog and a flea is an example of what type of symbiotic relationship? Mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, and depends on other factors. It's parasitism, because the flea is the parasite. All right, and number 5. If there were too many prey in the environment, which of the following statements would be true? The ecosystem would be totally fine. The ecosystem would collapse because of competition for food. The prey population would decrease. There would be enough space for all. In this one, think of it if you had so many bunnies in a small yard. Eventually, the yard would run out of grass, would run out of dandelions, would run out of all of that. And then the bunnies would start to starve and they would die off because there's nothing left to eat. That's the same thing as right here. It's the collapse of that ecosystem. All right, let's go to the anticipation guide. On the right-hand side, please write your answer and put the explanation down below. Carrying capacity refers to the largest population an environment can support. This is true. Carrying capacity pertains to the largest population and depends on sunlight, food, water, and other resources. Resources is the big one. That word is amazing because resource could mean food, resource could mean water. It could also mean, well, another thing you could put on here is the number of prey, number of predators. That all pertains to that carrying capacity and affects that. All right, number 4. Predator and prey populations are similar in size. They're the same or very close to. No, 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 no. No, prey populations usually are larger than the predator population because that's due to food. You want to make sure there's enough food, but not too much food, or not a small amount of food. You want it like that Goldilocks, like just right. All right, let's look at the summary. Things affecting population size in an ecosystem would include the 3 things I kind of already talked about: number of prey, number of predator, and the type of resources, how much resources there are, like sun, food, water, shelter, mates, all of it. All right, if there are too many predators in an ecosystem, how could too many? Too many predators in an ecosystem would affect it because they basically would kill all of the prey, so they would run out of food and then there would be starvation. It would not be cool. Okay, describe the different types of symbiosis. Remember, there are 3. We've got mutualism. Mutualism benefits both. Commensalism, that's the second one. That one benefits one and does not affect the other organism. And my last one is parasitism. That one benefits one, usually the smaller thing, benefits the one, and it harms the other. All right, so that is it for the notes for today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I hope you guys have a great day.